Let me just let me turn this off for a second so you can hear me properly. Yes, that doesn't look too bad sat like that. I mean, it's, yeah, we've raised it up 25 mil all the way around now. If anything, could do with some higher profile tyres on the back. What we got on the back? 275 35s. Yeah, maybe get some 275 45s on there. Something a bit bigger, because it does fill the arch gap a little bit better. It does look, with that bigger tyre, it does look slightly better, I reckon. Yeah, we got our tyres from Tyre Shack. Spot on, great service. They actually only charged for the tyres. They didn't charge for any of the balancing or anything. So yeah, happy days, chuffed with that, really good. So we got our tyres sorted. Yeah, I recommend Tyre Shack. And on that note, we're going to have a cup of tea, and I'll come back to you when... Oh, I've just spoke to my brother, actually. Yeah, I have just spoke to my brother. He's literally just told me that the windscreen's getting done on Thursday. So I don't know who's doing it, but the windscreen will get done Thursday. I'll then run it down for the MOT. I forgot to say, actually, while we're on the subject of the tyres, and before we move on to looking at the windscreen being replaced and having it MOT'd, but going back to what I wanted to say, I was fucking sidetracked again. Those wheels that, you know, I was moaning about the last company, why would they put exhaust paste on it? I think, actually looking at it, investigating, because I didn't have my glasses on, I've now put my glasses on, I've had a closer look. I think it might have been that silver paste, that paste that's sort of like a protection, a rust protection. So I think that's what was on there, not actually exhaust paste. But still, yeah. Merry Christmas. Right, so before we run it down for an MOT, as you can see here, we have some disco lights going on. So whether you indicate left or whether the hazard lights are on, the driving lights, the DRLs, are constantly flashing. And also, when we indicate right, this side repeater doesn't work. Also on the front, you can see that this fog light isn't working. Well, that's the quickest fix I've ever done on a T5. We've now got that working. Happy days. And also, the windscreen guys just turned up. Oh, I better move some vehicles. Bear with me a moment. Right, so we've just had the geezer here from Auto Glass. Actually, he was a really nice bloke, and he was really honest, and he could have actually quite easily have just fitted the windscreen and been done with it and gone on with his day, but he didn't. He was quite honest, and he said the screen that I got isn't the same as what's in there. So he dug around, a little bit of investigation. So this screen doesn't seem like it's the right screen for the van. Can't see any wiring for an aerial on the windscreen, although this windscreen does have the aerial built in, but it's not connected. We couldn't find the wire to connect it to that one. He was led to believe that maybe the screen's come out and it's been changed along the way. So we looked into that and we had a little bit of a look around, and it was really interesting. So we looked around the windows, and he's looked around all of these windows all the way around, and he said, yeah, all of the windows have been out at some point. So yeah, I mean, we know it's had a respray, but did all the windows come out for the respray? I mean, that would be doing a proper job, but we don't know whether that's the case or not. So yeah, so the difference is the screen that he had is just a basic T5 screen, but the one that's in here has the tint along the top. So what he's done is he got in touch with his main office, and they're actually ordering in the tinted windscreen. But we also have the rain sensor on this screen as well. So he's ordered the screen with the rain sensor and with the tint along the top. But he reckons, I mean, it's Thursday now, he reckons it should be here for beginning of next week. So hopefully, he said beginning, but I'm going to be, you know, a bit more realistic, probably Wednesday or Thursday. So I reckon a week, and we should be hopefully having the new screen fitted. But no, fair play to him. Geezers at Auto Glass for their honesty. That's spot on. Really appreciate that. Oh yeah, I told him to leave the mirror down as well. I wasn't bothered about that. I just said to him to leave it as it was. Makes it easier for the next person that comes back to fit the screen, or easier for him when he comes back to do it. Obviously the wipers are off already because I removed them when I was doing all the suspension setup. So that's why the wipers aren't back on there, and I left them off specifically so that when they come to do the windscreen they don't have to remove the wipers. But he wanted them on there so that he could test the windscreen sensor, whether it works or not. But fair play to the guy, he took my word for it, saying that it did work. So that's why he's taken it all off. Yeah, he took it all off in investigation to what screen is in there. I mean, it is a VW windscreen, but you know, he doesn't think it's the right one for this vehicle. So many dodgy things about this van. Oh yeah, the windows, that's what I was saying about the windows. So, you know, we fitted a few windows. Let's change that for you. We fitted a few windows now with trim porters. But look at this one here. Right here. Oh, hello. Right here, it's tiny little gap. It's so tight. And then you go up to the top and it opens up. Which I'd never noticed before until the screen fitter mentioned it. And the gap along the bottom is good, but there's quite a large gap along here. So the screen should have been over, the window should have been a little bit further forward. Otherwise the gaps around on the rear one looks fine. And it was only on the rear. I mean, I haven't looked at the rear window before, but he said, oh yeah, look, you can see in there. He goes, Volkswagen would never leave it like that. Yeah, you see the sealant there, where they put too much on there. And then, well, oh yeah, you can see it really clear along there actually. I thought I could see it along there, it was dirt. But you can see it, all in there. That's body primer. So that's the body primer that you put on for onto the metal first before applying your sealant, your adhesive, window adhesive. Whereas this window, all along the back here, and this gap, absolutely fine. It's a decent sized gap all the way up. Very bizarre. Very strange. Right, well, we'll come back when the next screen fitters are here. Right, so while we wait for a window fitter to turn up and get it all sorted, I'm just going to have a look around on the inside here of the DRLs. So these daytime driving lights. I want to try and fix it myself because it's I'm always relying on Matt to do my electrics, and really I should be doing my own electrics. It's not that I'm not capable of doing it, it's just that I'm very lazy, and when your mate's full time in, you know, this is his job, he can do it. So I'm just pointing out here that that's where the fuse is plugged in. These are all the wires that they've got connected up. So they've got the live going in through the fuse box, which is fused, going into this box here. It's also running the earth straight off the battery. But it says the wires coming off it, there should be a yellow one. And this yellow one, which is right here, it goes into a black and white cable on the back of the headlights there, onto that headlight loom. Yeah, so it goes into the black and white. It's very strange as well because there's a cable there, you know, a wire coming out from that terminal which has been cut. And it looked like that was going over to the fuse box as well. I'm not sure what that's all about. I'm sure when I speak to Matt will let me know. But the wiring for the actual daytime running lights, they run down to the bottom there. And yeah, that's all fine. It's just this top part here that I wanted to try and rectify. So they've used some sort of random clamp there. But yeah, you can see there, that's where it looked like they were running power across from there to that terminal there. So I have no idea what that's all about. I will speak to Matt. He might shed some knowledge on that for me. He might have a clue, whereas I have no idea at all. Right, let's see if we can speak to Matt and then get this fixed. So rather than relying on Matt all the time to do my wiring, I thought I'd just have a quick look in the Haynes manual to see what it's actually wired into. So at the moment they've wired it into the black and white, because it's all very well having a friend that does all your electrics, but sometimes you need to get on with it yourself and you can't rely on them. I did message Matt this morning and I've asked him for some help, so I'm sure when he gets a moment he'll reply. But I thought, well, while I'm waiting for Matt to reply, let's investigate this myself. So what I've found is the left headlight, which is where it's wired into, and the black and white wire, which is what it's wired into, and that's for the front left turn signal. So that's why whenever the hazards come on, or whenever you indicate left, your DRLs are flashing. So what we're going to do is, well, I need to wait for Matt to confirm this, but because it's the daytime running lights, they should dim when your side lights turn on. So what I'm going to do is, this is what I think is right, it needs to be disconnected from the black and white and moved over to the grey and black. And then that's obviously for the side lights, so whenever the side lights are turned on, the DRLs will dim. Yeah, happy day. So I'm just going to wait for Matt to get back to me to confirm what's said, what I've said, and then yeah, we'll go from there. So I've just got off the phone to Matt from JVS Auto Electrics, and he said, well, I sent him a picture of what was going on here, and he replied and he said, black and white is for the indicators. You want to be on grey or black or grey and red, depending on what side your headlight's on, your side light. He said, yeah, black and white has always been on Volkswagens, your indicator. So yeah, it's just on the wrong one. Take it off there and put it onto the grey and black or grey and red. So yeah, he sent me that message. I went to go outside and it started raining, so I had a quick look and went, nah, wait a minute. Then literally 5 minutes later, Matt rang me up and said, have you done that yet? And I was just like, nah, it's still raining. And he's actually had the same problem today as well with the rain. Every time he goes onto a job to go do a job, it rains. So yeah, it's a little bit annoying. It must be really annoying for Matt when he works outside all the time doing auto electrics. But yeah, I then said to him about this little plastic clip. I said, well, how do I take it apart? Is it a cap pulled on? Or he went, nah, usually they're just screwed in. Just unscrew it and there's a little spike inside, and that just pops into the wire and you screw it in. And I was just like, oh, I've never seen one of them before. So yeah, that's what we done. We spoke to Matt about it. So we know there it's the black and white that needs to be taped up. So I'm going to go get some tape. We'll tape that up. And then when we come back, we will reconnect this to the grey and black. Well, that was very frustrating getting that little bit of tape on around that previous connection. But it's all taped up now. So that's a bonus. Happy days. Just going to push that heat shrink back over, make sure no water gets in. It should be fine anyway, but right, yeah, let's connect this to the grey and black wire here, which is actually into number 10 of that plug. So hopefully once we get this all connected up and I screw this in, we'll test the lights and we'll, hopefully those DRLs should work. Yeah, they should only dim when the side lights come on now, so we'll go test that as soon as this is connected. And we'll make sure that it's all functioning properly and that they're not flashing when the indicators are on. And it's as easy as that. It is literally as easy as that. Right, so Auto Windscreens are here. They're doing this. And they got some mad conceptions going on here. But what I just wanted to say is, Russ, when we work and we fit our screens, look at this, Russ. Look how perfect that is. Oh, that's amazing. That's really good. But yeah, we're going to hang around, and I want to see how this conception works, because he's stuck on the window here. I've got an idea of how it works, but I'm just going to stand back and watch. As long as you don't mind.
No, that's not.
Excellent.
I don't think I've ever been filmed for each, you know.
Right, so the screen's all been done. We're taking the tape off, but I did. What are they making all that noise for? Hello. Hello, there's the kids, they're all going. Bye, bye. So matey's been here, he fitted all of that. We had a quick look at the lights, and the side lights weren't actually working properly. They weren't dimming, so I sorted the connection out. That little pin, I didn't tighten it up enough. So now Tim's jumped in the van, he's put the ignition on so we can see those DRLs are actually working. So as soon as he puts the side lights on, and then, yeah, they dim straight away. That looks sick. Yeah, then they go bright. Yeah, that's cool. That looks absolutely wicked. So that's everything else ready. That's ready for the MOT now. Yeah, nothing else needs doing for the MOT now, is it?
No.
That's all done. Just need to turn off the service light, 'cause it keeps coming on, because I never reset it last time. We only serviced it not that long ago, didn't we? So we got to turn that off. The ABS light's gone off. I don't know, it just must have needed driving. Obviously didn't like it up in the air. Yeah, happy days. Right. We're going to call it a day there. Chuffed with how it's all come out, actually. So it's ready for the MOT. I'm going to go down and see Ken in the morning, see if we can get it booked in. Hopefully we can get it done before Friday. So yeah, and I've also got some new speakers to fit in the T4, courtesy of Russ from Trim Porters. So thank you very much for them, Russ. Nice one. And I'll see you all on the next video, whether it be the T5 or the T4, I'm not too sure. Right, take care, stay safe, and God bless.